Mike is with us in New York City to start off this hour. Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm doing well, Dave, and yourself?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can I help?
All right. So essentially, I had a couple questions. I graduated from college here in May of 20. I'm a pandemic grad. Didn't get to have graduation, but they mailed me the diploma, so I guess that counts.
Yep.
So I racked up about 146,000 undergrad. 23 of that was public. The rest was private. It gave me anxiety in college. I got out. I was fortunate enough to get a job out of school. I've refinanced the private one twice, down from about 7% to like 3.38. So that's great.
Good.
I
You made some good moves there. Good. What's your degree in?
Finance.
Okay.
So I work in financial services. So I have for the last 9 months.
Okay.
So I live at home. Luckily I was, fortunate enough to discover your program as a young person with a lot of debt and fresh out of school. I got, like I said, I got a job, and I make about post-tax about $3,500 a month. Of that, I'll put $1,450 biweekly towards the debt. So about $2,900 a month, and then they give me a little bit, about $2,000 a year. So it's about a little over $3,000 a month I pay back. So like in 9 months, I've paid off probably $32,000. It sounded like $114,000, so I've probably paid off like $32,000. So
good for you.
That's good. That's good. So my question for you essentially is a couple things. I don't want to live at home like for a long time. I have a long distance girlfriend who's 4 hours away. And I'd like to be close to her at some point. My question to you, and something I wrangle with, right, is I have a good situation here. I'm able to shovel a lot of money. But I also feel like if I move out, I elongate my timeline because I'm not paying rent. I am fortunate enough to have that. So I wrestle with, like, do I stay at home? Am I stunting my personal growth? Should I go and chase, like, I went to school down south. I'd love to live down south, but, like, also that incurs rent and other expenses and things like that. So I'm just torn, like, whether to stay at home until I'm 25, 26 at this blistering pace.
Where's
or
where's the girlfriend?
She lives in D.C.
Okay. Is that where you're talking about going? Is that down south for you?
No. I'd like to go to like a southern city like Charlotte, Charleston, Nashville, something like that.
Charlotte and Nashville are both really strong financial centers.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't make a lot of money. I'm kind of surprised. But, I mean, are you on some kind of quick upward track with your career?
Yeah, I mean, I humbly, I expect to be promoted in the next, 3 to 6 months. Yeah.
What exactly are you doing?
Essentially, it's basically a financial advisor training program. So get licensed,
Oh, okay. So you're running on a stipend until you get a client base built.
Yeah, essentially. So
Yeah.
it's more of like an assistant, to the person.
Yeah.
And once you, get some traction, then you start talking to people.
Hey, Mike, what's your payoff date right now if you stay at home?
If I stay at home with about 100, so quick math, say I always try, what is it, hoping for the best but expecting the worst. If I just stayed at this salary, right?
Yeah.
It would be, and I pay biweekly, it's about $40,000 a year. So it's about 2.5 years. If I pay biweekly, and I can confidently say that I'm trying to do it in 2 years.
But Mike, you're overanalyzing this, man. The bottom line is you got to weigh the 2.5 years if you stay home, stay where you are, and your income's going to go up. So you've done kind of your least amount of income scenario.
Yeah.
So if you move south or DC, whatever that looks like, you start making more money. You just got to start running the numbers and really truly look at how much more would it elongate using your words.
It won't.
I don't think it's very much at all.
I don't think it's much at all because and so here's what it amounts to. Do I put my entire life on hold for 2.5 years, including stepping out as an adult and having my own place, or do I step into some of these things, like a new position, and you start shopping for that, use Ken Coleman's materials and land that in the city that you want to be in, and making even more, or or the chance to make the same, but at a lower cost of living than New York City, and the New York City market, whatever it is. And so, because Charlotte is less expensive than New York City, or the area around New York City for sure, or Nashville would be, or Dallas would be. So yeah, I think you got to make these moves. And the truth is that what will happen inside of your soul will cause you to make more money because you're living your life, man. And instead of like, you know, you know, you're getting caught up in addition type math rather than multiplication type math.
Yeah, it's really well said.
And so you know, because I think when you engage this relationship with this lady, you engage your dreams. You are on your own. You're out there leaving the cave, kill something, drag it home. You're going to blossom in ways you're not going to blossom in your other scenario that are going to affect your income. And so the net is probably not any elongation, but even if it is, so what? Do it anyway.
Yeah, we're talking about a small amount of time as young as you are. Here's the other thing. You're not married. You got the long-distance girlfriend. Work a second job.
Yeah.
Knock the baby steps. I mean, get after it, man. And I think that 2.5 years can shrink substantially if you get after it.
Yeah. The safe course is seldom the best course.
Yes. I say that all the time. We have a world, Dave, that we've been trained to do the safe, smart decision. And I got a bunch of adults who call the Ken Coleman Show every day that did safe and smart, and they're miserable at 35 and 45. And what I mean by that, to explain that to you folks, is that we get taught that we got to go to the safe college, get the safe major, to get a safe job.
If you're not more attractive to this young lady when you're out there on your own in the wild swinging, you're certainly more attractive to her dad.
That is great perspective there. I didn't see that, but that's a very good point. That's a really good point.
You know, so you come in, sit down at my table, ask for my daughter's hand in marriage, and you're in your mama's basement, or you're out there swinging and you're scared to death and you're fighting and you're scratching and you're clawing. It's a different conversation, Bubba.
That might be 2 out of 3 strikes with Dave Ramsey. I know.